The noise is getting louder, the links are getting stronger, but right now one of Scotland's most in-demand young defenders is refusing to be dragged into the chaos. Let's break this down. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Despite heavy transfer speculation, including strong links to Rangers, Luke Graham has just made a major admission about his future. And it's not what many expected. The 22-year-old Dundee centre-back has been a standout performer this season. Composed, aggressive, and improving week by week, Graham has quietly built a reputation as one of the brightest defensive prospects in the Scottish Premiership. That form hasn't gone unnoticed either, with his performances earning him a nomination for the PFA Scotland Young Player of the Year award. And naturally, when you perform like that, interest follows. Clubs are circling, bids have already come in. Portsmouth tested Dundee's resolve back in January, only to be knocked back. Meanwhile, Rangers have continued to be strongly linked, with many expecting the Ibrox side to make a serious move in the summer window. But here's where things take a twist. Despite all the speculation, all the rumours, all the growing expectation that this could be his final season at Dens Park, Graham himself insists he's completely in the dark. "I've loved it at Dundee," he admitted. "To be honest, I couldn't give you a proper answer on where I envision myself next season." That's the key line. No hint, no teaser, no transfer, come and get me message, just uncertainty. And more importantly, focus. While fans and pundits debate his next move, Graham is blocking out the noise completely. Even his own mates have tried to get answers and failed. A few of my mates have been texting me saying, "Where are you off to?" and stuff like that, he revealed. But you just try to block it out. I think I did that really well in the January window. That mentality alone will only increase his appeal to top clubs, because this is a player not getting carried away, not distracted, not rushing decisions. Even when pressed on specific interest, including Rangers, he shut it down immediately. "No, really, I don't know. I don't want to get too involved in that while the season's still ongoing." For now, there's only one thing on his mind: survival. Dundee's situation has become tense following a damaging 3-0 derby defeat to Dundee United, leaving them just 5 points clear of the relegation playoff spot. With 4 games left, the pressure is mounting, and Graham knows it. "It was a disappointing and frustrating day for us," he admitted. "We just couldn't really get a foothold in the game, but there's no time to dwell. There are 4 games left. We just need to move on to the next one and try and secure our safety as soon as possible." And that's what makes this situation so intriguing. Because while the transfer noise grows louder, while Rangers and others continue to monitor closely, Luke Graham isn't looking ahead, not yet. But come the summer, if Dundee decide to cash in, and all signs suggest they might, this could explode into one of the most talked about moves in Scottish football. Rangers are watching, clubs are waiting, and Luke Graham's future is still wide open. In other news, Rangers are preparing to close the curtain on one of the most defining individual eras in their modern history, with captain James Tavernier set to depart Ibrox at the end of the season. After nearly a decade at the club, the right-back's exit signals not just the end of a playing chapter, but the conclusion of a leadership tenure that has been central to both the club's resurgence and its ongoing identity in the post-relegation era. The announcement, confirmed ahead of the weekend's fixtures, brings clarity to what has increasingly felt like an inevitable transition. Since arriving in 2015, Tavernier has been ever present through the highs and lows, most notably helping guide Rangers back to the top flight in 2016, and later captaining the side during one of its most successful modern spells. Under Steven Gerrard, he evolved into far more than a conventional fullback, becoming a talismanic figure in a team that clinched the Scottish Premiership title in 2021 and surged to the Europa League final just a year later. Yet for all his individual consistency and attacking output, Tavernier's legacy has remained a subject of debate. 3 trophies during his captaincy is a modest return by Rangers' historical standards, and that statistic has often shaped the discourse around his place in the club's hierarchy of greats. For some, his leadership during a rebuilding era carries immense weight. For others, silverware remains the ultimate benchmark. That divide has followed him throughout his time in Glasgow, amplified by the intense scrutiny that comes with representing a club of such magnitude. What is beyond dispute, however, is his durability, professionalism, and influence. Tavernier has been a near constant in the starting 11 for years, delivering goals, assists, and leadership in equal measure. His ability to impact games from right back, particularly through set pieces, has made him one of the most statistically productive defenders in British football over the past decade. Now, as his Rangers chapter draws to a close, attention turns to what comes next. Interest from England has quickly gathered momentum, with Wolverhampton Wanderers reportedly among the clubs monitoring his situation. Tottenham have also been linked, adding intrigue to a developing transfer picture that could see Tavernier return to English football after nearly 10 years north of the border. Wolves, in particular, present an interesting proposition. Their relegation has already been confirmed following a deeply disappointing campaign spent entirely in the bottom 3. With a rebuild now unavoidable, the club is expected to target experienced figures capable of stabilizing the squad and driving a promotion push. Tavernier, despite being 34, fits that profile. His experience at both domestic and European levels, combined with his leadership qualities, could prove invaluable in a championship environment that demands resilience as much as quality. There is also a recent history of business between the two clubs, with players such as Fabio Silva and Nasser Giga making temporary moves to Ibrox. That existing relationship could yet play a role in facilitating discussions, particularly as Wolves look to reshape their squad with players who bring both reliability and a winning mentality. For Tottenham, their reported interest adds a different dimension. Despite their own struggles near the bottom end of the Premier League table, the appeal of top-flight football remains significant. Whether Tavernier is viewed as a squad option or a short-term solution, his experience and technical quality could offer depth and leadership in a dressing room searching for stability. From a footballing perspective, Tavernier's next move will likely hinge on balancing ambition with practicality. While he may no longer be at the peak of his physical powers, his technical strengths, especially from dead ball situations, remain sharp. In a demanding league like the Championship, those attributes can often be decisive across a long, grueling season. Back in Glasgow, the focus will soon shift to life after Tavernier. Replacing a player of his consistency and influence will not be straightforward, particularly given how integral he has been both on and off the pitch. His departure leaves a leadership void as much as a positional one, and how Rangers address that will be crucial heading into a new era. For supporters, emotions are likely to be mixed. There will be appreciation for his service, recognition of his role in restoring pride and competitiveness, and perhaps lingering debate about what might have been. But above all, there will be respect for a player who committed nearly a decade of his career to the club during one of its most transformative periods. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.